Good morning. My name is Ms. May, and I am the school librarian at Perry High School. And this is my first recording of the 2020 summer. And I am hoping that this recording will reach you and you will be healthy and happy on the first full day of your summer break. I would like to talk to you today about one of the very special books that is on the Pittsburgh Summer Schools, the Pittsburgh Public Schools Summer Reading List. And it is this wonderful book called Stamped: Racism, Anti-Racism, and You. It's written by the National Ambassador for Youth Literature, who is Jason Reynolds, a very, very special and wonderful writer of young adult and middle grade literature. And also Dr. Ibram X. Kendi, who is a professor at Washington, D.C. University and one of the foremost thinkers on anti-racism thought. So this book, Stamped, is the young adult adaptation of Dr. Kendi's Stamped from the Beginning, the definitive history of racist ideas in America. This book came out several years ago, and as you can see, it's big and it's quite definitive and very important. So Jason Reynolds and Dr. Kendi wanted a less imposing book to be created for younger readers, and so that's what they did. So today I am going to read a small section for you from Stamped, and I'm going to be able to, with the magic of this wonderful technology called Screencast-O-Matic, I'm going to be able to show you what it is that I'm reading. So here we go. Here's the cover of the book. It's an amazing book. Woohoo! I love it so much. So let's go to chapter 22, which is called Black Power. We're going to skip down. We've skipped down from the year 1415, which is where the book starts, to the year 1965. And I'm going to get right down, and you can read along. I know that I am in the way here and with some of this stuff, but we're on page 179 if you happen to have the book, which I hope that if you don't already, you will consider going and getting it, because truly this book is exceptional, absolutely incredible, and it will change your thinking. It really will. It has that power. So let's take a small piece of this book and let's think about it, and let's explore it together. Here we go. 5 days after the Voting Rights Act was signed into law, a social bomb exploded in the Watts neighborhood of Los Angeles, when a police incident set off 6 days of violence. This became the deadliest and most destructive urban rebellion in history. Enough. Enough! There was no more picketing, no more marching. The squawking mockingbird had stopped its pecking and had transformed into a panther, brandishing teeth. As Watts burned, Watts is a neighborhood in south central LA, Angela Davis boarded a boat headed for Germany to get her graduate degree in philosophy. Shortly after she arrived in September 1965, an international group of scholars gathered in Copenhagen for the Race and Color Conference. Davis didn't attend, but if she had, she would have heard lectures on the racist role of language symbolism. Scholars pointed out everyday phrases such as black sheep, blackballing, blackmail, and blacklisting, among others, that had long associated blackness with negativity. 2 other words could have been included: words that still exist today. Minority, as if black people are minor, making white people major. And ghetto, a term first used to describe an undesirable area of a city in which Jewish people were forced to live. But in the racist context of America, ghetto and minority became synonymous for black. And all three of those words seemed to be knives. That is until people like Stokely Carmichael showed up. Carmichael was born in Trinidad in 1941 and moved to the Bronx. The Bronx is a neighborhood in New York City in 1952. The same year, his idol, Malcolm X, was paroled from prison. In 1964, Carmichael graduated from Howard University, which is a very important HBCU, historic black college or university. By then, Malcolm's disciples, including Carmichael, were saying that the word Negro was to describe black assimilationists, and black was for the anti-racist, removing the ugliness and evil that had been attached to it. They were now passionately embracing the term black, which stunned Martin Luther King Jr.'s Negro disciples and their own assimilationist parents and grandparents, who would rather be called the N-word than black. Carmichael was the kind of guy who'd rather be called dead than afraid. He was the new chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And a year after the uprising in Watts, he and SNCC found themselves at a rally in Greenwood, Mississippi, called the March Against Fear. It was at this rally that Carmichael would exclaim a culture-shifting phrase. What we're going to start saying now is black power. Black power. And when black people, especially the disenfranchised, but also anti-racist ones, caught wind of this phrase and married it to Malcolm X's autobiography. Black power basically sums up the book. Black power became a red fire burning in the black community and burning down the white one. Well, maybe not burning it down, but definitely heating its blood. What Stokely Carmichael meant by black people owning and controlling their own neighborhoods and futures, free of white supremacy. What racist white people and media heard was black supremacy. And once again, the mere notion of anti-racist ideas got purposely jumbled into hateful extremism. There were even black civil rights leaders, such as Roy Wilkins of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, who were against the Black Power mantra. Wilkins thought it was reverse Mississippi and reverse Hitler. He would have been one of the black people Malcolm X referred to as a Negro. Despite all the assimilationist vomit coming from the black elites and the racist vomit coming from the white segregationists, Carmichael and his Black Power mantra pushed on. He traveled around the country, speaking, building the movement, but another movement was sprouting up at the same time. Oakland, California. Two frustrated young men started their own two-man movement. They called themselves the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. I'm sure you've seen the photos. These days, they're on t-shirts and posters randomly plastered around places as if the Black Panthers were Disney. They weren't. The black hats and leather jackets, the sunglasses and guns, all were real. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale weren't characters. They were men, fed up. So they composed a 10-point platform of things they were fighting for in the newly founded Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. The 10-point platform, here paraphrased. 1. Power to determine the destiny of our black community. 2. Full employment. 3. An end to the robbery of the Black community by the government. 4. Decent housing. 5. Real education. 6. For all Black men to be exempt from military service. It's important to note, my friends, that at this time the Vietnam War was raging and there was a draft, which meant that you were forced to go and fight. 7. An immediate end to police brutality and murder of Black people. 8. Freedom for all Black prisoners. 9. For all Black people on trial to be tried by a jury of their peers. 10. Peace and Black representation in the United Nations. I'm going to stop there, but I do hope that reading about this exciting time in history makes you want to grab this book, because truly and honestly, it is a wonderful book and one that will excite you and make you interested. History's not dead. Someone said that history isn't even past. It's here, it's now, and it definitely lives with us every moment and informs our present day. I'm telling you, you'll want to read this book. So grab it, or if you cannot get your hands on a physical copy, go to the Carnegie Library online. You can do it on your phone. You can get a Carnegie Library card. If you're a kid, get a Carnegie Library card. If your Carnegie Library card has been jacked up, like maybe you forgot a book and you have a fine, don't worry about it. The Carnegie Library will help you right now to get rid of those fines or just get a new card. And then you get a Hoopla account or a Libby account or an Overdrive account. They'll show you how on the website. And then you can get books on your phone and just read them. This book is worth it. It's really interesting, and I think you're going to like it. Give it a shot. All right, my friends, now is the time. If you're a white kid, if you're a Black kid, if you're a brown kid, if you're any color kid, let's do some anti-racist work together. Let's learn about American history and how it informs our lives today. I love you all. I miss you all. I can't wait to see you again. Let's read together. All right. I hope to see you soon, and I hope that you keep reading and thinking, because nothing is more important than your beautiful and important minds and thoughts.